Dan Saunders was an ordinary man living in a modest apartment in Sydney, Australia. He led a simple life, one that many would consider unremarkable. He worked as a customer service representative, a job that barely covered his bills. Day in and day out, he answered calls and resolved issues, always striving to make ends meet. Life wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. Dan found contentment in the little things like a quiet evening at home or a walk through his neighborhood. Then, everything changed one night in 2011. It was a night like any other, or so he thought. Dan was at an ATM, low on cash, when he stumbled upon something unbelievable. The machine seemed to be acting strangely. The machine was malfunctioning, allowing him to withdraw far more money than his account held. It was as if the ATM had a mind of its own. At first, Dan was hesitant. This had to be a mistake, right? He couldn't believe what he was seeing. He withdrew a small amount, then a larger one. Each time, he expected the machine to stop, but it didn't. Each time, the machine dispensed the cash without a hitch. It was as if the rules of banking had been suspended. A wave of disbelief, then excitement washed over him. He felt a rush of adrenaline, a sense of possibility. This accidental discovery had the potential to change his life. He stood there, contemplating the endless possibilities that lay ahead. Little did he know just how drastically things were about to change. This was just the beginning of an extraordinary journey. The ATM glitch was a technical anomaly, a rare occurrence in the otherwise robust banking system. It was a quirk in the system, an unexpected flaw that went unnoticed for a while. Typically, ATMs communicate with a bank's central computer to verify account balances before dispensing cash, ensuring that the transaction is legitimate. In this case, a communication error allowed the ATM to bypass this crucial verification step, leading to unauthorized withdrawals. Dan's withdrawals were not being checked against his actual balance, giving him access to more money than he had. He had essentially found a loophole, a temporary window of opportunity to access funds that weren't his, without immediate detection. The flaw was a closely guarded secret, known only to a select few within the banking industry, who were working to fix it. Dan had stumbled upon a gold mine, and he was the only one who knew its location, making him feel invincible and euphoric. The allure of easy money proved too strong to resist. Dan began withdrawing increasingly large sums. He quit his job, rented a luxurious penthouse, and indulged in extravagant purchases. Designer clothes, lavish parties, and exotic vacations became his new normal. He showered friends and strangers with gifts, relishing in their astonishment and his newfound generosity. The once ordinary Dan Saunders was living a life most could only dream of, funded by a secret that kept him looking over his shoulder. Section 4. The walls close in. As the months passed, a sense of unease crept into Dan's life. The initial thrill of easy money gave way to gnawing anxiety. He was living a lie, a double life built on borrowed time and stolen money. The fear of getting caught became a constant companion. Sleepless nights were punctuated by nightmares of police sirens and prison bars. The guilt and paranoia began to eat away at him, casting a dark cloud over his ill-gotten gains. The weight of his secret grew heavier with each passing day. Section 5. Confession and Consequences. After 2 years of living on the run from his conscience, Dan reached a breaking point. The guilt and fear became unbearable. He realized he couldn't outrun the truth forever. In a moment of clarity, he decided to confess. He contacted the authorities and confessed his crime, detailing how he had exploited the ATM glitch. The police were initially skeptical, but their investigation soon confirmed Dan's incredible story. The bank, shocked by the security breach, launched an internal investigation. Section 6. The Price of Temptation. Dan Saunders' case sent shockwaves through the banking industry and captivated the nation. His story became a symbol of both greed and the consequences of giving in to temptation. He was arrested and charged with fraud and theft, facing the full weight of the law. The court proceedings were widely publicized, turning Dan into an unlikely anti-hero. His every move was scrutinized by the media and the public alike. Some lauded his honesty in confessing, while others condemned his reckless actions. The debate over his morality raged on, dividing opinions across the country. In the end, Dan was sentenced to 1 year of house arrest and ordered to repay the stolen funds. His punishment was seen by some as too lenient, by others as a fair consequence. The ATM glitch, once his ticket to a life of luxury, had cost him his freedom and reputation. The lavish lifestyle he briefly enjoyed was stripped away, leaving him to reflect on his choices. Dan Saunders' story serves as a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that even the most tempting shortcuts can have severe consequences. It underscores the importance of integrity and the long-term impact of our decisions. It highlights the fleeting nature of ill-gotten gains and the enduring power of a guilty conscience. The weight of his actions will likely follow him for the rest of his life. While the allure of easy money may be strong, the true cost of such temptations often outweighs any temporary pleasure. Dan's experience is a powerful lesson in the value of earning one's way honestly,